Hello, friends. Before we get into the episode, I wanted to let you know that we have a new merch collection out. Woo! We haven't come out with merch in a couple of months, so we have a really cute spring collection. All of the shows have new designs, which I'm very excited about. The Sesh has very cutesy designs. We've got t-shirts, we've got hats, we've got totes, we've got tumblers, we've got tank tops, we've got baby tees, we've got cropped tank tops, we've got it all. So there's definitely something for everyone over at milehighermerch.com. Also, just a reminder that 100% of the proceeds from any merch, from any show, goes directly to the Higher Hope Foundation to help support victims of violent crimes, as well as other nonprofits who are in the same scope of work. So get yourself some cute merch for the springtime and also, help out a great cause as well. So yeah, happy shopping. Hi, friends, and welcome back to the session. My name is Janelle. I'm here with Sydney.
Hello.
And behind the cameras is Haley.
Hi.
Come on, ladies. Act a little more excited to be here. Jesus.
That's Maybe if you give me some of your chocolate croissant.
Do you want some chocolate croissant?
It looks very good.
I have chocolate croissant. Luckily, I have chocolate croissant. This is from Costco.
It looks like very fancy.
It's from France. Just kidding. It's from the bakery. Yeah, chocolate. You're welcome to have some. This thing is massive. So please, by all means, have at it with your croissant. Haley can't have a croissant because she is gluten intolerant. And you hate to see it.
At first I thought you were going to say just because she's not allowed to.
Just because I said she's not allowed to. No, Haley, what do you have to say about being gluten intolerant? 10 out of 10 recommend?
It's the bane of my existence. But I will say that in Colorado specifically, and then also just in general, people are really getting on board with it. So there's like a lot of alternatives. It's just hard when like everyone's eating like my favorite things in the world, like a croissant.
Right.
And I can't have it.
No, it's devastating. I feel horrible for you. I would hate my life if I was gluten intolerant.
I think I would like not be able to accept it.
Yeah, no, one time my doctor told me that I should go gluten-free because my blood work came back like sus or something. And they were like, you'd probably be feeling a lot better if you were gluten-free. I said, shut the fuck up.
I think I remember when that happened because you're like, how am I not supposed to eat pasta?
I said, okay, well, I won't be partaking in that. Thank you so much. Unless I'm physically going to have a horrible reaction or die, I will not be giving that up. Thank you so much for the advice, though.
I will say I denied it for a long time. I just kept dealing with like the bloating and the symptoms. But as soon as I cut it out, I noticed inflammation went down, which for people who are conscious of their image, it made me look skinnier. But inflammation went down. My energy levels went up. But the biggest thing was I learned that if you get rid of all of those physical things, your gut simply cannot absorb nutrients when you're eating gluten, when you're gluten intolerant, because it destroys your intestines' ability to, like, there's these little like finger looking things that grab nutrients. It destroys them. So that's what finally made me like, actually.
You're like, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, I don't want to hear that because I was talking to Haley last week or something about how I'm just tired all the time. But like, what bitch isn't tired all the time? Okay. And she was like, you'd have more energy if you didn't eat gluten. Gluten makes you tired. But you know what? I'd rather be exhausted with a croissant in my mouth. That's all I have to say.
In my bed.
Wait, what?
Like, eat it in your bed?
Oh.
While you're tired?
Sure. I slept till 11 on Sunday.
That's impressive.
Thank you. I was very impressed with myself. Sometimes I like to see how long I can sleep for.
Did you wake up in like a panic? Like, oh my gosh.
No, I woke up and I was like, hell yeah. And then John came in and was like, good morning. I was like, you've been up for hours, haven't you? Don't talk to me about it.
You guys are like the couple that gets up early.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. On the weekends, I usually get up at like 9. John gets up early. John's an early morning
Like, how
riser, which
early?
is like just so irritating. Usually, well, like during the weekdays, I don't know, 6, which is normal. But then like the weekends, he gets up at like, he still doesn't sleep in past like 7:30 or 8 because he just like wakes up. He says the dogs wake him up and then he's just awake. I'm like, well, the dogs know not to wake me up. If they want to see the light of day. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do love my sleep. Haley says she sleeps till noon like all the time.
Naturally.
So.
I sleep until like 2 p.m. often as well.
But don't you just feel like a piece of shit afterwards? Because like, and no judgment to you. This is a me thing. If I slept till 2 p.m. often, I'd be like, the day is over. Like, now what? The sun is going down in like 3 hours.
Yeah, that's because the difference between me and you is I don't go to bed at 9:30 p.m.
True.
I'm up till like 12:30. That's, I don't know. That, I mean, yeah, if I was going to bed and like when the sun goes down like you, yeah, probably.
Okay, don't expose me. I have gotten into bed when the sun is still up, though.
So let me get this straight. You get home and you only are like, you get in bed at like 9?
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
only like 4 hours or 3 hours of
I know it's
non.
I know. Well, and here's the real kicker. When I go to the gym, I don't get home till like 7:30.
Ugh.
And then I eat dinner and then I'm like, I want to get into my bed.
Oh, see, I can't do that because I feel like once I get home, I need to have like my established time at home. So I'll stay up late. So like if I got home at 7:30, I probably would not going to bed till like 12:30.
What do you do? Just like sit on the couch?
Yeah.
You're a couch person over a bed person? I'm a
Yeah.
couch girly for life. Or I mean, a bed girly for life.
Well, because I had really bad insomnia and associated like I wasn't associating my bed with sleep because I was just like in my bed all the time. So then I wasn't able to sleep. So now I only go into my bed for
To sleep. Does it
Yes.
help?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep.
I have a very bad habit of working in my bed, which is very cozy, but probably really stupid. I try not to do it because they say it's really bad for you. So I try to work at my desk. Yeah, when I work from home, I like go from my desk to my couch to my dining room table to my desk, and then sometimes at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on the task.
it
And it
then?
depends on the task that I'm doing too. Like if
okay.
it's doesn't require a bunch of monitors or a ton of brain power, then I'll go to my bed.
Mm.
But it's very bad because then I just want to take a nap.
Yeah, that's my eyes get heavy.
So it's not good to do, people. Don't work in your bed. Anyways, how's your weekend?
It's good. Nothing really too exciting, to be honest. I mean, we went on a lot of walks because it was so warm.
Yeah, it was like 90 degrees. Hello, global warming. There was a fire by my house.
I heard there was fires.
Yeah, so it's good.
That's scary. I can't. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and I put all my shorts away, so and my legs were white as hell. That was nice on the walk, but
Yeah, you got to get vitamin D.
yeah, it was nice. I mean, it felt really good. There's people at our pool like all weekend.
Oh, your pool's open year round?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I think the water's heated or something.
Yeah, it would have to be heated. That's so nice. Mine is not. Mine's not. I'm like, open that shit up, dude.
Yeah.
I
What about
love
you?
swimming. What did I do? My friend got a new apartment. She's moving this weekend, so we went shopping for her new place.
That's fun.
Home Goods is such an interesting place. You either find the shittiest crap on earth that's like, who made this? It's so bad. Or you find stuff that's like actually really decent. It's kind of like garage sale shopping.
It is.
It's like some of this stuff is so ugly, so bad, so broken. There's so much broken shit there.
I know. And people just like put it back.
I'm like, who's buying this crap? It's literally broken.
You know what? I have always wondered is how they establish or like determine the prices. You know, like sometimes on candles, I'm like, why is this one candle $20 and this other candle is like pretend like they're the same.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the codes on TikTok?
I used to work at a TJ Maxx / Home Goods.
Wait, you did?
Oh, we need the
Wait, okay, because I keep seeing these TikToks of these stickers. If you look at like the SKU or whatever, there's certain numbers and they mean certain things, but I don't know if it's true or not. Please give us the intel.
I'm going to be honest. Even as employees, we don't even know. Like,
Oh.
as chaotic as it seems to you, it is, because basically so the way, and this was back when I was in high school, so like it could be completely different now.
I haven't seen any changes
so long ago.
The one thing about Home Goods and TJ Maxx, that shit hasn't changed in decades, I feel.
But basically everything comes in on this truck, and it's just, you have no idea what's coming in. It's just a random assortment of crap. And some stuff comes with tags already, and some stuff like doesn't. And for example, I remember the weirdest thing was like, if something comes up to you at the register, like someone finds it on the floor, it doesn't have a sticker, you kind of just have to figure out the general idea. You find the most similar thing you could think of.
Right.
And make a comparable price from there. Like, there's not like an actual like real system to it.
Yeah.
I only worked there for a month, so if anyone's worked there longer and has like a better idea of what I'm trying to explain.
Why did you only work there a month?
So
Did you get fired?
No, I've never been fired in my life. No, what happened was I quit 2 weeks in. I put in my 2 weeks because
so you weren't even were you there for a month?
Yeah, I was there a month total. I got 2 weeks in, put in my 2 weeks. So 4 weeks. No, I quit because they wouldn't let me talk to anybody. I got separated from anyone that was near me because I was talking. And they're like, if you want to, and I was like, I can't go 8 hours without speaking to anybody. They're
Wait. You mean talking to like other employees or customers?
Employees.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, and they were like, if you want to talk to someone, talk to customers. And I'm like, I'm not going to walk up to customers and be like, what are you doing this weekend?
Wait, what? In what world can employees not talk to each other? The hell?
That's literally why I quit. And also because, like, if I was a quiet person, sure, that'd be fine. But
shocker.
That's not going to work for me.
Dang. You worked for the combo, like the TJ Maxx Home Goods combo?
Down in Castle Rock, I sure did. And it's weird. They're actually like internally separated. So like the staffing was separate. The management was separate. The like, the schedules were separate. Like we worked in the same building, but like literally did not know each other.
Which side did you work on? The Home Goods?
No, I was TJ Maxx, unfortunately. So maybe Home Goods has like a better system, but from what I understand, because we all worked at the same registers, it was the same systems. We were just separated for some reason.
Huh.
We should go through a list of the jobs we worked because I feel like it's funny what was the first job that you ever worked, Sydney?
I was very young. I worked under the table. So I was 13, I think. Yes. And my mom got me a job at this like sushi restaurant. It was just Fridays for, I don't know, 4 hours. I'd make $30. It was like my lunch money.
Okay.
And I would clear plates.
Okay.
And I'd get a free roll, sushi roll. And yeah, it was fun. But I mean, it was one day a week for 4 hours.
Still
and my parents would pick me up and drop me off.
Okay, love that.
Yeah.
Then where'd you go?
Where did I go? Oh, I think that's when I started I started working at a preschool. That was like my main job.
And how old are you?
Like, I think 15.
That's crazy that they let 15-year-olds work at a preschool.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And I just had to do like the CPR thing. I mean, I think I was good.
No, I think you were good, but I'm sure many people were not.
Oh, yeah. Some kid, like, there's a lot of teens there. And they just like sit on their phone and like the 2-year-olds be like running around.
That's insane, in my opinion. Yeah. I would never send my kid to a preschool if they had a bunch of just like 15-year-olds running the show.
It was Primrose. It was a nice ass preschool.
Dang, that's
These
crazy.
People are paying out their ass to send their kids here, and there's teeny boppers watching.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you had to do the CPR certified thing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. One time I had to do the EpiPen, like for real.
Wait, Someone was
Yes.
having allergic
This
reaction.
little girl,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Oh my God, it was the worst thing ever
Were you
because
so freaked out?
I was so scared, but she was like going purple.
Oh my God.
And like you have to hit it like so hard. And like, oh, I just felt so bad. But yeah, that was like the scariest thing working there, honestly. But yeah, I had to do CPR, the EpiPen thing. Oh, what else? Oh, and we had to like just some other trainings. But honestly, you didn't really need much.
Yeah, that's actually insane. Then you worked at a golf course.
I did. Yep, golf course.
Didn't know how to drive the cart and also cook the burgers.
Oh, yeah, one time I thought I could help run a tournament. And I had brought on 2 of my friends who are not cooks, who don't know how to work a grill. And basically I was like, we got to make these burgers and they're frozen. And so we're like throwing them on the grill. None of us know how to grill. Like this is a long time ago. And even to this day, I'd probably be a little bit nervous. Like, am I going to make these right?
Let's just remember when we were camping 2 years ago, we were drunk cooking burgers and you like bit into a burger that was still
yeah, I remember that. Yeah. But these people, these guys at the tournament were getting their burgers and coming back and showing us the inside of the burger. It was still frozen. It was so bad. I was like, oh my gosh.
Dude, that's so bad.
So horrible. And then, I didn't know anything about golf etiquette. And so when you're driving the cart, you're driving the opposite way that they're playing. And you're driving a gas cart, so it's loud. It's like, it's not like the little, electric. So I'm driving the car and it's like, I'm like shaking. And like these people are playing golf. You're supposed to stop and be quiet. You know, like when you watch golf on TV, no one's talking.
I wouldn't have known that. I still don't. I've never like been on a golf course.
It's like the rudest thing you can do. And like, is to make any
all these
noise.
Like rich fucking dudes are like
literally looking at me like, this is like the most common thing. They're like, can you stop the cart? And I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah, no worries. And they were like, you're not supposed to drive when someone's like teeing up.
Why wouldn't the like people tell you that?
I think, it's pretty common knowledge, I guess, but I did not even think about it.
So funny.
And this thing, it was loud. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
Oh, and then I didn't know you're supposed to not drive on the greens. So people would like wave at me, and I thought they were waving at me to like come over to them. So just driving the big, car with all my snacks on the like so bad.
Oh my God, so. Were you like the bartender too, like making the drinks?
Yeah, I was like the bartender on the course.
That is so funny.
But it wasn't like a bartender; it was just like a shooter. And then I try to work some magic, like I'll give you 1.5 if you don't tell, and then they like give me a bigger tip.
Yeah. But you got to work the system.
Yeah, that was. They were like, "Wow, you can drive on the greens here," and I was like,
"You're like, yeah, I'm doing it."
It's like I didn't, because I'd be like, "No, don't worry, I'll come to you."
That is so funny.
And then the ranger called me out. He's like, "I saw you're driving. You need to not drive on the sidewalk, like not anywhere else." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my God, that is so fucking funny, dude.
But what about you? You have any?
I worked my first like real job before was PetSmart, but before that I did like babysitting, obviously, whatever. And then I cleaned this one Airbnb for like a couple years. I was like
you cleaned it?
Mm-hmm. Like the house. Like, like the clean, like,
yeah, like after they had guests.
Yeah, I would clean it.
How did you get that job?
Someone in my family had a rental.
Oh, okay.
And
was it ever like nasty?
Yeah, dude, there was so much. Yeah, it was disgusting. I would come in with like, and there'd be like sex dolls. Like people would have like bachelor parties. One time I found a fucking gun.
Shut up!
And
I did not know that.
I didn't know. I don't know if it's. I don't remember if it was real or not.
Where did you find it?
Like at the basement. It was like a shotgun.
Oh my God!
And they were like, and I think I like called my mom. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And she was like, I think she determined it was fake because it was like a shotgun wedding or something. I don't know. But I would find like sex dolls. I found like tampons, like just on the ground, like
Ew.
used like people were so disgusting. This is a nice house in Denver.
What? That's crazy.
And then they had there was a hot tub.
Tell your boss like, okay, you should find them.
No, because this was before Airbnb was even a thing, and VRBO was like kind of new, and so the owners just kind of like, I don't know if it wasn't as regulated, it seemed like.
I see.
And you know how now it's like there's so many rules when you check out. It's like scrub the floors,
Oh,
clean
yeah.
the dishes, do the laundry, mow the lawn. Like there's always these
Yeah.
like ridiculous. There was none of that. It was just like leave it however you want. So there'd be like dishes and like food and drugs. I found like weed ones before, like, and I was like, oh my God. Are you sick of cooking the same 5 things over and over again, week after week after week? You have the same recipes, the same ingredients, the same takeout. It gets boring, okay? And what is life without interesting, delicious meals? Nothing, okay? Life is worth living when you have great food. And all thanks to Hungry Root. You're welcome for that. Guys, listen up here, okay? I'm going to tell you once and for all. Hungry Root is the place to be if you are looking for delicious, top quality ingredients, easy recipes, dinner or breakfast or lunch or snacks or whatever on the table in 15 minutes usually. Hungry Root is where it's at. Hungry Root plans all my meals and groceries for the week, fills my cart, and delivers everything I'll need to eat healthy every day, all while fitting my health goals, dietary preferences, and budget. And unlike other food delivery companies, Hungry Root now has over 50,000 chef-crafted recipes to choose from each week. Yeah, you heard that right, 50,000 per week, okay? And like I said, many of these meals are ready in just 15 minutes or less, which is so iconic because who wants to spend an hour and a half cooking in the kitchen, especially on a weeknight? It's a no for me. I'm busy, I'm tired, and I need something on the table quickly that is still going to be delicious and satiating, and that is why I love Hungry Root. They also have over 1,000 grocery store items like smoothies, sweets, kids snacks, salad kits, ready-to-eat meals, and supplements. I have had so many meals from Hungry Root that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Some of my favorites are their gingery tuna steak with asparagus and jasmine rice. Yum. Let's see, I also love their salmon pasta olive vodka. Their steelhead trout with orzo. Okay, everything I've had is so delicious. And Hungry Root holds all its food to high standards, screening out over 2,000 additives, including high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives. And they only source high quality meat and seafood with no hormones or antibiotics. They offer organic produce and non-GMO options and carry trusted health brands like Oatly, Vital Farms, Ithaca Hummus, Harmless Harvest, and many more. I've tried meal kits in the past, but I found that Hungry Root really works so much better for me because of the variety and the personalization. That's another thing that's great about Hungry Root is that you can really personalize all the meals. So let's say, for example, this happens quite a bit with us because John is allergic to carrots and I think they're just disgusting. So if there's a meal with carrots, we'll swap it out with some other type of veggie, or if there's a specific ingredient that you don't like or you have maybe like too much of it at your house, you can just get rid of it. So that way you're not wasting food. It's really, really nice. So if you are sick of eating the same boring food day in and day out, it is time to try Hungry Root. You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Hello, that is a brilliant deal. Okay, jump on that deal quick. Go to hungryroot.com/sesh and use code sesh. That's hungryroot.com/sesh, code sesh to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. But here's the secret. I would bring boys over so we could like hook up.
Oh my God.
Because
Come with me to my cleaning job.
Yep, John would come with me. I'd be like, let's go.
Wow.
I'd be like, come help me clean. But then we could like hang out and be alone. Because I had like all day to clean it. Now, granted, it took fucking like all day because it was a 3-story house and it was literally just me. And sometimes my boy would come and help clean. But I'll have you know, I'm actually a very good cleaner. So overall, I got no complaints. But sometimes people would show up and I would like, it was also before like keypads weren't really a thing. So it was like a lot of times you like meet the person to give them the key or you like leave it in a lockbox or whatever. So sometimes I would be there to give them the key and they were like, I was like 15, 16. They were like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of random.
So yeah, I did that. And then my first real job was PetSmart. Shouts out. I loved that job. I worked with my stepbrother. And it was fun, but also disgusting because you'd have to like clock in at like 5:30 in the morning because you'd have to like go and do like deep cleanings.
Oh, yeah.
So it took forever to like open the store. And one time I was feeding the snakes. So you like take them out of their habitat and you like bring them to the back room and then you feed them like frozen mice. And I couldn't get this snake to eat. And like you have to like kind of dangle the frozen mice because like and then they like come and like wrap
With
up.
your
I had like
gloves.
I had like tweezers.
Oh my God, was that horrible to watch this?
No,
Like,
it
little
wasn't.
mouse.
It wasn't fun. But I tried it. It was the mouse was frozen, and I just tried to think of like the snake has to eat, and I like snakes, so I was like, okay, it is what it is.
Yep.
But one time I couldn't get this fucking snake to like coil the rat. It like wasn't interested in the mouse, and I was like, well, I don't want it to not eat. I like got stressed, so I literally.
Oh no.
I put the snake back in its habitat and then I put the mouse just in there because I was like, well, hopefully he'll eat like at some point today because I didn't want him not to eat. So I put him back like on display and then someone's like shopping and they open and there's a dead ass mouse in there because the snake still hadn't eaten and then they like freaked out and I wasn't the one helping the customer and they're like, oh my God, who fed the snakes this morning? Like who opened? And it was me. So they came to me like, what the fuck is that? And I lied. I was like, no, like the snake like coiled around it and like acted like it was gonna eat it. Like, oh, it must have regurgitated it. Like they'll do that sometimes. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what.
And it's still, oh my gosh.
So that was
Well.
bad. No, but I had to count crickets. That was gross.
Counting crickets.
I had to like, people would be like, I need to buy 30 crickets. And there was like this big fucking tub of crickets. So you would
pick out 30?
Yeah, so you would like open the top and there was just like crickets fucking all over this thing. And then you get a scoop and you'd scoop some and then you'd like open the bag and like have to like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was never like, I would always give people a little bit of extra because I was like, I am not fucking like,
Yeah,
that was my only
crazy.
thing that I like really had a problem with was the fucking crickets because you'd have to like put your hand in the thing and they're like bouncing around. They would land on you.
Oh no.
I didn't want to scare the customers like freaking out. So I like was trying to be really brave about it, but I hated that part so much.
I don't think I could do that. Like
It was disgusting.
my dad always like, I don't know why this is kind of random, but he always asks like, what's one job you really could not do? I don't think I could do that.
Bugs.
Yeah, they're like, put your hand in the jar of crickets. I'd be like,
oh, it was like a massive tub of crickets.
I would like just not walk over that by the area. So
then there was like then there would like be like crickets like on the ground and shit because they would like get out. It was disgusting. That part was nasty. But the rest of it was fun. I like got to play with the gerbils and I was always like getting the fish. And yeah, I loved all of that except for the crickets. And then they also had a bunch of worms because people would buy worms for their like rodents too. Or not their rodents, amphibians. And they were in the fridge. So you'd be like in charge of counting the fuck ass worms. So you'd like open the fridge and there was all these little like plastic containers and you have to open them.
Ugh.
But because they're cold in the fridge, they're like dormant, so they weren't really moving, but you'd have to like go around and count them. And I was like, this is so stupid. Why do I have to count worms? For a
Sounds
giant
really cheap.
corporation.
Yeah,
like my God. So I would just kind of guesstimate.
Worms really
The
gross.
crickets were the worst though, because they were active.
Yeah. No, I can't even. But you're good with the animals.
I loved all the animals. I'm really good with animals. I hate bugs.
Yeah, bugs are.
But like I loved when people would be like, oh, I want to see like a bearded dragon. I would like to get to take it out and like hold it with them and show it to them. It was really fun. I liked that job overall. But
Would you go back?
now? Well, here's the thing. I realized that PetSmart's like a giant corporation, obviously. So I don't know, like people have said I only worked there for like probably a year or so. So I feel like I don't know. I'm still part of this Facebook group called like, you work at PetSmart when I like joined it a million years ago when I worked at PetSmart. And so people like talk about it and they're like current employees and stuff. And they're like always talking shit. So I'm like, maybe it's not the best company. But I did love the animals. And they adopted out cats. So I loved when cats would get adopted. That was fun.
We got our family cat from PetSmart.
There you go.
Yeah, in Castle Rock.
What was the name?
Bubbies. Well, his name was Marcus at PetSmart, but we named him Stanley, like from The Office, because he was fat and grumpy. And then he turned into Bubbies. I have no idea why.
That's
so
cute. Yeah, let's see. Then I worked at Charlotte Russe. Remember Charlotte Russe?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Do you remember Charlotte Russe?
Oh my God, yeah. When I remember when I got my first like big paycheck, I was like, "Oh, I'm balling." I went to Charlotte Russe at the outlet mall, and I took my sister, and I was like, "Pick something out."
Yeah, that's right, girl. Dude,
their shoes. I remember always going there for like the heels.
Yep.
You worked in the one up in Greeley?
No, this was I worked there during like the breaks in college. So I worked at a mall. Not in Greeley though. But yeah,
are those even around anymore?
No, they closed. But I was like, I spent so much money there because it was like you got a good discount too. And like I bought so much shit from Charlotte Russe.
It reminds me of Wet Seal.
Yes, totally like that same vibe.
Remember Wet Seal? This is so random, but when I think about it, I think about their really cheap thongs. Because my mom was like weird about like us wearing thongs.
Like you weren't allowed to?
Yeah, but they were like...
Did you like sneak them?
Yeah. Because they were like $5 to $10 at Wet Seal. I mean, they were trash. And then like, this is so weird, but me and my friends, not together, but they weren't allowed to have thongs. So like I'd wash them like in my bathroom.
In the Keurig? If you know, you know.
Yeah, in the Keurig. Yeah, but then I like hide them. I'm like, why am I wearing these? And like, it's like not a big a deal. But then my mom finally found it and she was like, what is this? Whatever string. I'm like, it's like $3, Mom.
Mom, it's only $3. That's so funny. Let's see what else. Oh, I worked at a doctor's office. I was like a receptionist at a doctor's office. At an OBGYN office. That was actually not bad at all. I kind of liked it. It was fun. I liked the people I worked with. And I got to hear a lot of interesting stories. People would call in with some...
Oh, I'm sure.
Wild stuff. One time someone called in because they had a mango stuck up their hoo-ha.
What? A mango?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a piece of a mango or a mango I didn't ask. But the best part is you can't be like, a mango? You have to be like, okay.
Yeah.
And like, schedule them accordingly. And in the notes, has mango, stuck, emergency appointment.
Oh my gosh. Probably one of my weirdest jobs was when I interviewed electricians for construction sites. Like I was staffing electricians.
Okay.
And I had to determine their level of what they knew, like, you know, electrician wise, all the stuff, if they're green or they were like a journeyman. And so I had a lot of questionable, just a lot of questionable people I worked with. They all called me Miss Sydney.
They what?
They called me Miss Sydney.
Miss Sydney.
I had a second phone and they were blowing it up nonstop. Like, I need work, Miss Sydney, I need work. I'm like, okay.
Where did you work in college?
Oh, I bartended.
Oh, you bartended, right.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a different kind of bartending than like...
Oh, college bars?
Yeah.
Bartending is... The college bars we went to was filthy.
There was literally like 4 bars. So on the weekends and on the whatever special nights, you know, boys or Wednesdays, and then Thursdays was like ladies' night. But the drinks were like cheap, like $3. Remember when?
God, they were so cheap.
Like Wednesdays or bar crawl, whatever.
Yep.
And so you wouldn't have to be like making in a lot of like, you know, focusing that much, but you have to focus. But it's more about going fast,
right?
You know. So, but the shots, that was hard because you had to take a test, and we had so many different kinds of shots, like. Remember the gummy bear?
Oh, you had to know all those?
Yeah. Like the Girl
That's
Scout
so funny. God, I remember that, turning 21 and being like, let me get all the crazy shots.
And like the pink, it was like pink cream.
Ew.
Tequila? I don't even know. But, the brain hemorrhage shot. That was disgusting. Like,
oh, I remember that one.
Like, curdle.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked at Noodles and Company in college. Was one of them. Trash. Fucking worst job I've ever had. And then I worked at the call center and like cold called alumni asking for donations. And people would be like, fuck you, I gave you tens of thousands of dollars. I was like, okay.
Wait, if they didn't answer, would you have to leave a voicemail?
Sometimes, most of the time not. Most of the time you don't have to voice them, but I was the top seller, if you will.
Wow.
Okay, I'll just say that right now. I raised the most amount of dollars for the alumni center.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, you know, that's so funny though. Haley, any job highlights you want to touch on? What was your very first job?
My first job was Arapahoe, and it was haunted AF. That's real. Don't make fun of me. No, my coolest job was when I was a zipline guide, probably. Terrible experience.
No, your coolest job is this job.
This is my coolest job, but my other coolest job, just the most random job. It's like a fun fact job, is being a zipline guide because it's just so random.
That would be so fun. I feel like I would love that shit.
I have crazy stories from that you've.
Yeah, I have a permanently messed up shoulder because of a crash during training, which is just like a whole thing. There was like a guy that like was touching a line that got not it didn't directly get hit by lightning, but like one of the other ones, and they're all connected, got hit, and he had like muscle damage, permanent muscle damage because of like the electrons or whatever. Like there was so much stuff that happened at that job. It was insane, but that was probably the craziest one.
I want to go to that place, like go so bad, but now after hearing your stories, I'm like scared. But I think we were gonna go last summer with like one of my sisters in town, but now I'm too nervous.
Oh, I love ziplining.
I won't talk about which one it was. And I won't get into details or anything because I do still love some of the people that work there, but that was an experience.
I love ziplining. I ziplined in Costa Rica. It was like the most fun thing I've ever done in my life.
We ziplined together.
We did. We did zipline in Mexico.
Yes, that was fun.
Yep. Very fun. So big news over the last couple days here regarding The Bachelorette and Taylor Frankie Paul. Yeah. Oh my God. It seems like every hour there's new stuff coming out and there's like so much misinformation and like random accusations as well. But I wanted to touch on it because obviously we had talked about in the past how, you know, she was going to be the next Bachelorette and this was going to be like a real revamp of the show because it's kind of gone downhill.
Honestly, after looking into this, it was their ratings had gone down quite tremendously. Like they were really big, 2010s. 2010 era, and then just over time, it's become like irrelevant. So I think by them bringing Taylor on was like a way to intertwine almost like social media, like the TikTok, how she's like constantly posting and she's known for being in Mom Talk, and then putting her as like the Bachelorette was, honestly, when I was watching it, I was like, I was going to tune in.
Yeah, I was going to tune in, which now that, because I remember when it first got announced, I was like, oh, that's really smart on their part, which I think part of it, yes, because obviously it got people talking about the show more. It got people reinterested. Obviously, a lot of people, I'm sure their numbers were going to be very, very good because, like you said, she's got a huge following. She isn't like the traditional Bachelorette. She's more edgy with the swinging stuff and whatever. And so I think that I probably would have done quite well if it had aired. I will also say though, now in hindsight, knowing what we know now, I think they're idiots to have chosen her.
What's weird is because I knew it was in the first episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, when it first started, there's like body cam footage of her after this incident that we are told that happens between her and Dakota. And the news was out there, but I almost I didn't know until unfortunately seeing that horrific video, what exactly went down. But then going back and looking at, some news articles in 2023, which was a year before Mormon Wives came out, it was all like detailed, but I think it wasn't like put back into the news.
Yeah.
Aired.
No one was really talking about the details of what had happened. And I don't think a lot of people knew about them. I sure didn't. And like Sydney said, until this video was released, and you kind of like had to do some digging to find reportings of like the details prior to the video being released. But yeah, so like it was supposed to air last Sunday, and what was it, 3 days before?
3 days, yeah.
Like a Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thursday, TMZ releases footage from the incident between her and her ex Dakota that happened in 2023. And like Sydney said, everyone knew that something happened between the two of them, but I don't think most people knew what happened exactly and really how bad it was. And I think we probably still, I think it's safe to say, don't know the full situation of exactly what happened, but TMZ got a hold of that video. It's like 2-minute clip. It's extremely upsetting, very shocking, major trigger warning if you're gonna watch it. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, it's like kind of all over the internet. We're not playing it, obviously, but it's very disturbing.
I feel like too, which this isn't, in my mind, shouldn't be a reason why people didn't know the extent of it, but sometimes when you're reading, you know, if say someone read about this, it hits a little bit different than like seeing a video.
Yeah.
So I think just like with that video, it's a pretty challenging thing to watch, but it's shocking that this is massive for ABC to cancel a full season is wild. It's like it's never been done before.
Well, okay, so before this video was released, it was earlier in the week, I want to say, where there was accusations within the last week, basically, where because they're filming season 5 of Mormon Wives, and they had to stop randomly. And this is all alleged, but supposedly it was because of some sort of incident that happened between Taylor and Dakota. And there's like rumors about what had happened, that she might have like strangled him with a necklace. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. And I don't know, what his involvement was and what really happened. But something happened to where they stopped recording the show.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, if they stopped recording, like, right, and this is, a week before, not even a week before The Bachelorette's going to launch.
I think it was like Tuesday.
Yeah, people were like, oh shit, are they going to cancel the show because of this? And, that was like kind of the first thing that people were talking about. But then literally 2 days later or whatever, this video drops, and yeah, they pulled the entire season, which
whoever was the vetting process for ABC, like that's wild to me that they didn't. Again, if you're vetting somebody, it wasn't hard info to find. Like she was still on probation. She's still on probation until August 2026, right? Again, I'm not saying, but that's just she still has things going on, and that's a big reason why this altercation that happened in February could be really damaging depending on what comes out of it. And there's like currently an investigation going on. It's also alleged, like there's been rumors that they got in a fight in the car, that a drink spilled. Taylor's people are saying that Dakota was pissed off. He got abusive. Dakota's side is saying she was the one that got abusive. And it's just right now we don't really know what happened in February, but Dakota was granted a temporary restraining order.
Yeah. Anyone who's a parent knows that feeding decisions aren't a one-time thing, okay? There's something that you make over and over and over again. And too often, the options out there, whether you're feeding a baby, a toddler, or a big kid, just don't meet the standards you want for your child. Parents are constantly asked to compromise on ingredients, nutrition, transparency, even safety. On top of everything else parents are juggling, the constant uncertainty is exhausting. And simply put, families deserve better. And that is where Little Spoon comes into play, guys. It's one trusted place to shop meals and snacks for babies, toddlers, and big kids, all made with real ingredients without having to rethink every choice or lower your standards at each developmental milestone. Little Spoon sports babies from the very first feed. It starts with organic infant formula for those first bottles, then moves into baby cereal and baby blends when solids begin. First bites, first spoons, all of it. Everything is designed for the stage babies are in, made with simple ingredients and tested for over 500 contaminants, including heavy metals. And as Kendall and Josh's family is continuing to grow, I feel like it's more important than ever for them to have something that's really delicious, good quality, and still easy to prep. For Holly, it's obviously a little bit overwhelming with a newborn in your household, and that's why Little Spoon makes everything so easy. And I know for a fact that Holly is a big Little Spoon fan. Plates are heat and eat meals with superfoods and hidden veggies, great for picky eaters and getting mealtime on the table in minutes. And lunchers are nostalgic, better for you options of the classics we grew up with, perfect for backpacks and busy days while still delivering real nutrition and all-day fuel with over 10 grams of protein per meal. With over 100 ingredients banned across the board, you don't have to overthink labels or second guess what you're serving. It's already been thought through for you, and that confidence makes all the difference. Feeding the kids doesn't have to be complicated. Little Spoon makes it easy with real, nutritionally balanced meals and snacks designed for every stage. It shows up ready to go, takes the pressure off, and somehow still gets devoured, veggies and all. No artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners either. And you know what? That's a win we'll take every time. Get 30% off your first online order at littlespoon.com/sesh with code SESH. That's littlespoon.com/sesh with code SESH for 30% off your first order. So let's kind of go through the timeline a little bit here so you guys can get like a better idea of how this all happened. It happened really fast, but basically, so March 12th, season 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives drops, and it drops on Hulu, which means all the episodes come out. And you can see throughout the season, one of the main storylines is about Taylor and Dakota, which first off, they're filming together a lot. You can see a lot of interactions that are very toxic. But, like, here's their storyline is like, oh, Taylor's the new bachelorette and she's getting ready to go off and film with these guys and find love. But then at the same time, Dakota's like in the same room as her all the time and they're filming together all the time. And, you know, she's basically like going back and forth with him while also supposedly like preparing to go and date a bunch of guys and like find love and all this stuff. And it just really seems like clearly Hulu knew exactly what they were doing. I think that she very clearly at that time, and maybe now, I don't know, you know, what their relationship is like now, but from what we've seen in that, you know, season, she still was very much emotionally tied to Dakota and vice versa. They were just very enmeshed in each other. It was very toxic. And the fact that Hulu like encouraged the two of them to film together, I think was just a really bad look on their part, because she's supposed to be going off and filming The Bachelorette next, and meanwhile she's still like fighting with her ex and they're like sleeping together.
Yeah, like, well, in the season, okay, and this is spoiler if you haven't seen it, but the night before, well, do you want me to tell you? Like,
Yeah.
The night before she sleeps with Dakota, for leaving for the bachelorette, and
Yeah, she sleeps
her
with him the night
like,
before.
all the girls or a lot of the moms go over there to try to get her to go to the airport, and she's like, no, like, I'm sick, I don't want to go. So she ends up flying out separately than her mom and sister, and even when she quote unquote gets to, I'm assuming, LA, there's like a clip of her like FaceTiming Dakota, and he's like, save the rose for me, and like, I love you.
Yeah. It's just so...
It's really toxic. If that's true, I mean, obviously we don't know how it's cut down, but
the editing could have been totally skewed. But even before then, there's another part where like it's like a week before she goes, and they're at this like big house all together, like all the couples or whatever, and he's there too, and they're like bickering back and forth, fighting, and they end up sleeping together, and then next morning they're shown like in bed together, and the moms are all like kind of pissed off at her and we're like, what, why are you doing this to yourself when you're about to go date all these guys? And so it just, I don't love that Hulu like encouraged them to film together, especially knowing what had happened prior in the incident that did happen in 2023. I just think that's a bad take on their end. And then ABC, that's a whole other discussion, which I'll get into in a second. But like, I think they are, now looking back at it, I think they're really stupid for casting her, knowing that she is in a very fragile and unhealthy mental state. Then things get worse. Like I said, they're now filming season 5 and they have to stop abruptly. Allegedly, the two of them got into, several heated arguments, and they're now under investigation by the police. And this happened back in February of this year. So TMZ reported that things had gotten so bad that they were ordered to get psych evals. And Dakota supposedly called Utah's Division of Child and Family Services multiple times, claiming Taylor had been abusive to their son ever. Which Taylor has denied all these allegations. Again, these are just allegations. Taylor claims that Dakota has been abusive towards her, and that 3 weeks ago, it came to head when they were in Dakota's car, when they got into a heated argument after a drink spilled on the car seat and on Dakota. And Taylor said that he became enraged and got physically violent with her, but supposedly Dakota was the one who called the police, and Taylor's, people say he did it to cover himself. Taylor sources said Dakota went MIA for nearly 3 weeks after the car incident, and that's why production stopped. Now, Dakota's version of the story is drastically different. He claims the car incident happened over a year ago and had nothing to do with anything that's currently going on. And his version of the story is that they got into a fight while they were hanging out at his place, and Dakota's passed with his
so Shania is...
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
The girl who actually is like Miranda's best friend, but isn't a part of Montauk.
Right. Yeah. So I guess his past with her came up, which, caused a big fight, and Taylor ended up choking him, ripped his necklace off, and then like took his phone and threw it against a wall. So then the next day they were together again, and she got violent again, supposedly grabbing his neck, and then the following day, one of Dakota's friends saw bruises on his neck and called the police. But sources connected to the show share an entirely different story. They said that the cast members refused to continue filming despite producers wanting to continue to film. So Michaela, who's one of the moms, actually went on Instagram and said that it was a decision that all of them made and agreed upon. They didn't feel comfortable filming with everything that was happening. Now, prior to this video being released of Taylor attacking Dakota, it had been reported by people, like Sydney said. So the details were out there. Like, most people didn't know what was going on. And according to TMZ and other outlets, ABC executives and producers were completely caught off guard by all the new details coming out about another domestic violence situation between Taylor and Dakota. And because everything started to get so messy so fast, they actually had to bring in crisis people to deal with it, because it was turning into a full PR situation and starting to affect the network. Now, after that came out, it became clear that her season of The Bachelorette was going to be a complete waste, essentially, because she's still very much caught up with the situation with Dakota. So that was like one thing, is people were like, okay, well, the season's already been spoiled. Clearly, she's
still with
most likely not engaged or whatever, or with someone from The Bachelorette currently, because
she's of the February thing.
Yeah, she has. There was an incident literally last month. Now, this is when sponsors and such start like dropping her because things are really messy. It's, not a good look. One of them was Cinnabon, which you hate to see. Cinnabon. Cinnabon is so delicious. God, I haven't had a Cinnabon.
Dude, they have them at Wendy's, like little.
They have Cinnabons at Wendy's.
Yeah, like little Cinnabon
pull-aparts.
Yeah, pull-aparts.
Pull-apart Cinnabons at Wendy's? Since the fuck when?
I don't know, but Jared DoorDash them the other day.
Just them?
Dude, it's been
And fries.
it's been
Oh my
a few
God.
years. They've had a partnership with
They have?
for a few years. I don't know if they're always there. It might be seasonal, but
Because
it's definitely been there.
I'm a Wendy's D1 hater,
Yeah.
but if they've got Cinnabon,
I mean,
hello?
Yep.
Delicious.
so I was seeing like the sponsor, like how they were sponsoring, and it was basically a branded box with like Taylor on. It was like a red box with Taylor on top of it,
Uh-huh.
and then like a saying of like, "Eat your cinnamon rolls or whatever," like while watching the show. There's some,
Have your Cinnabon, ladies, while watching the show.
but yeah, that's bad.
So this is when that footage of her attacking Dakota comes out. 3 days before the season airs, TMZ releases the footage. Again, this was from 2023, but the footage had just now aired for the first time. It's extremely, extremely disturbing if you haven't seen it already. But basically, if you don't want to watch it, I'll just briefly explain it to you. Taylor ends up putting Dakota, they're like fighting in a house, and he's the one that's holding a phone. And she ends up putting him in a chokehold and choking him, and then he like runs off or whatever, and she ends up throwing multiple metal bar stools at him. And you can hear Dakota saying, "Your daughter is right there." And then you can also hear a little bit later on, there is a child crying and like calling out mommy. And supposedly one of the bar stools hit the kid as well. In the video, you can hear Dakota say, "Your daughter got hit by the stool." And the police report does say that her daughter had a bruise or bump on her head. So in 2023, Taylor was arrested and charged with 1 count of felony aggravated assault, 2 counts of felony domestic violence in the presence of a child causing injury, and 1 count of misdemeanor child abuse and 1 count of misdemeanor criminal mischief. And she pled guilty in abeyance to aggravated assault, which means that if she complies with the conditions of the plea, the domestic violence charges will be dismissed. And the guilty plea will be held in abeyance for 36 months with a review date of this coming August of 2026. So Taylor's conditions include supervised probation, participation in any sort of treatment directed by probation, no consumption or possession of alcohol or illegal drugs, and no violation of any laws. And if she successfully completes the agreement, the felony aggravated assault charge will be entered as a Class A misdemeanor. Now, what's important to keep note here is that we don't actually know the full story. And I think that's one thing that people need to keep in mind, because I've seen a lot of discourse where it's like, as soon as this came out, everyone was like, Taylor's the ultimate aggressor. She's the abuser. Poor Dakota. And by no means am I justifying what she did. I think, obviously, you can see it with your own eyes. It was very violent, horrific, should not have happened. She should face legal consequences. And at the same time, I think it's important for everyone to keep in mind that, like, you truly do not know the full story. You don't know what else could be taking place. I'm sure there's more. And so I just think that is something that I really want to make clear, is that I'm not really here to like take sides and make an opinion on that, because I just think that's really not anyone's like place to be doing that when no one really has any idea of exactly what is happening and what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, or like, I mean, I don't think we'll ever know, or even police will ever know what happened leading up to what was filmed and put out. Like, you know, we don't, again, so I mean, I think, I'm not going to say Dakota's put hands on her or whatever, but they seem like they've been having issues for a long time. Like, that was really bad, but that was like back in 2023. So, and he's also, I don't know if what Hulu like makes him seem like is fully true, but we do know that he hasn't been great to Taylor, just loyalty wise, you know. Again, not
well. Also, so Dakota was married previously. His ex-wife's like best friend did come out with a statement saying, like, before judging Taylor, just know this is not the full story. And his like aggressive behavior was a pattern in that relationship. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean that's carried over here, but it's just another perspective of like there's a much bigger picture happening here.
Right.
Yeah. They end up canceling The Bachelorette. And obviously a lot of people online were like, good. This is what she deserves. She doesn't deserve a platform. And I'm not really like here to speak on whether she deserves a platform or not. Obviously, I think that knowing what we know now that video came out, I don't think that they should have casted her for multiple reasons. And the biggest one, I believe, is that clearly this person is going through and has been going through for multiple years a lot of mental health issues, is not mentally, I think, equipped for having the spotlight that is The Bachelorette on them. And I think it was a big miss on their part to either A, they didn't do their due diligence and like really look into her past, and
which you
would think they would. There's thousands of people working for ABC. I'm sure there was hundreds of people who were vetting this and signed off on it.
There's no way they couldn't know that at least there was an incident that happened, because that's like how, unfortunately, Mormon Wives was promoted in the very beginning. ABC got it. They had to know something happened.
And
then maybe they just let it go over their head and didn't look into it.
Right.
Which is insane when you're casting. It's not like you're casting even if you're casting one of the guys, because like that's happened before too, or they've casted a contestant that is questionable or has like a past, but the fact that she's still on probation, I mean, I'm sure they run background checks.
Yeah, she's still on probation, which again, like, I'm not saying everyone who's on probation is bad and doesn't deserve opportunities. No, like,
but it's
absolutely not.
Your like name, but if you're going to prove to have somebody that is on probation, that is still in a messy situation, you're putting yourself, your own, whoever vetted, ABC basically, it's going to come back on you.
100%.
So,
and I also just think, like, I think she should be pulled off of just TV in general, because having that many eyes on you and that many opinions and that much speculation and that much cruelty. I mean, people on the internet are fucking brutal. And I can't imagine someone with her degree of fame, like what she's going through. And there's absolutely no way in which that is helpful to her mental health situation whatsoever. So I personally think that Mormon Wives should pull her off the show too. Especially now that this has come out. Like, I just don't think it's appropriate to be platforming someone like that, but also more so because it's just not good for her. Like, she clearly is struggling mentally, and she needs to be able to get the help she needs and do the work that she needs to do in private.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something that should be plastered all over the media, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is like the Mormon Wives it's a show about their daily lives. So if she is getting help or doing something privately, they're gonna be like, oh, we've got to get this on like in the next season. But I would say season 4, even with editing, it really seemed like she was, really struggling with a lot of things, because in prior seasons, she's gone through stuff, but it really seemed to surround, and maybe Hulu did that on purpose because they knew The Bachelorette was coming out, and so they knew eyes are going to be on Taylor. I don't know, but it's crazy. And then, so there is word that she ended up getting engaged.
Yeah, that's one of the rumors, is that she ended up getting engaged to, what was his name?
Doug.
This guy named Doug. Supposedly, she got engaged, which, by the way, he looks literally like Dakota's could be his brother.
Yeah.
But supposedly she did end up getting engaged, but the engagement ended 1 month after filming ended when Taylor broke up with him. I don't know if this is true. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day if it's true or not, but
he did come out. That's what I saw. He came out with like, I think they did end up together because he like posted a TikTok saying like his thoughts and prayers go out to Taylor.
Right.
So
wait, I thought they like actually confirmed that they were together for a few months or whatever, and then they broke up for reasons having to do with Dakota. Was that just like speculation online?
I think I don't
think that would be confirmed because I don't think they're allowed to confirm that.
I think unless Taylor were to, or like,
but I don't even think I'm sure they've signed. There's some sort of like NDA in place where like you can't just.
It takes like, especially the Bachelorette and Bachelor. I'm pretty positive there's a certain amount of years that there's certain things you can't share because there's like a lot of times people will come out and say stuff like later on. But I mean, I don't know. Reality Steve. I don't know how
Steve claims to know everything, and most of the time he is correct. Not all the time, but most of the time.
It's kind of crazy. With the Bachelor stuff, he's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, are you there? Like,
guys, I added something to my self-care ritual, okay? I started dermaplaning my own face, and let me tell you, I absolutely love it because I always love the feeling of a dermaplane, but it's kind of annoying to have to go somewhere, pay a lot of money, sit and wait for it to be done when honestly I could just do it at home, and if I have the right tools, it makes it really enjoyable. And that's why I love Flamingo, you guys, because they make the best shaving products out there. If you shave out there, you know that most of the time it's a big pain in the butt. But I've actually been using Flamingo for years and years, and it makes the whole process just really smooth, pun intended. And now that I've added dermaplaning to my self-care ritual, it's just upped it that much more. Flamingo was born when the women who helped build Harry's noticed that the other companies selling women's razors were just shrinking men's razors down and making them pink. So they decided they wanted to shake things up. They created a shaving solution that's actually made with women's bodies in mind. So let's talk about what sets Flamingo apart. They have no pink tax pricing, which means you're not paying more just because this is a woman's product. There's no flimsy design. The razor feels good in your hand and the handle is weighted. And there's no irritation. It glides smoothly, but still shaves very closely, and my skin feels smooth for days after shaving. And their starter set has everything you could need, whether it's time for an everything shower, like I said, or even if you just need to shape up your brow line. Inside the set, there's Flamingo's original razor, which is 5 sharp blades, a 360-degree comfort system to help protect skin from irritation, and a flexible hinge to hug every curve. Then there's the facial dermaplane razor that sweeps away peach fuzz and exfoliates skin, making skincare and makeup applications so easy. The kit also includes foaming shaving gel designed to add a pillowy cushion between your skin and razor, and then also a shower holder to keep your razor within reach. I'm telling you, you guys, this razor makes such a difference. Like I said, I've been using Flamingo razors for years, way before they started sponsoring the show, and so when they came to us, I was really excited because I've always had such a good experience with these razors. And the whole kit is just $7. And shipping, well, it's free. And if you don't love your shave, Flamingo offers a 100% money-back guarantee, so there's really no risk. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Flamingo starter set for only $7 at shopflamingo.com/sesh. You guys, that's an insanely good deal. This set includes the Flamingo original razor, 1 5-blade cartridge, a 1-ounce foam shaving gel, and a shower holder. Just head to shopflamingo.com/sesh to claim this offer. And after you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Once again, for a limited time, our listeners can get the Flamingo starter set for only $7 at shopflamingo.com/sesh. This includes the Flamingo original razor, 1 5-blade cartridge, a 1-ounce foaming shave gel, and a shower holder. Just head to shopflamingo.com/sesh to claim this offer. And after you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Okay, so after the video is released, they cancel the Bachelorette season. A spokesperson for Taylor says in a statement obtained by People, quote, "Taylor is very grateful for ABC's support as she prioritizes her family's safety and security. After years of silently suffering extensive mental and physical abuse, as well as threats and retaliation, Taylor is finally getting the strength to face her accuser and take steps to ensure that she and her children are protected from any further harm. There are too many women who are suffering in silence as they survive aggressive, jealous ex-partners who refuse to let them move on with their lives. Taylor has remained silent out of fear of further abuse, retaliation, and public shaming. She is currently exploring all of her options, seeking support, and preparing to own and share her story. Now, Dakota has responded to this claim, saying he wasn't the one who shared the video with TMZ, but only a couple hours after the video was released, he actually filed for a protective order and was granted temporary custody of their son. And there is a hearing set for April 7th where Taylor will be able to respond. And Taylor's team said the video was part of a destructive campaign by Dakota, saying it lacked context. And they also said she stayed silent out of fear and is preparing to share her side. So a former Bachelorette producer, Michael Carroll, actually came out and shared his thoughts on the whole thing with TMZ. It's pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what he has to say.
So, Michael, it's a different world from the time you were there to the time we're looking at now. But you're in the business. You know how it works. How strict was it when you were doing it? And what do you think's going on here?
Unbelievably strict. You pretty much had to be a Mormon wife at that point. Like, you had a background check, you had a medical check, mental capacity check, you had all the things. They wouldn't even let anyone who had any kind of charges against them. And you were just a clean teen back there if you were on the show.
How does someone like Taylor Frankie Paul, who not only has had a lot of incidents, but I mean, those incidents have played out on another show. So that's the part that we just don't get here. Like, this seems like it was a willful decision.
100%. The casting department, at least with executive producers, was completely aware of who this person was, especially because it seems to me like a publicity grab to get this contestant. You know what I mean? So they're like quickly going to do all of this and do the quickest vetting they can do, but they're going to know everything. And like, I just looked up on AI 30 minutes before this interview about her, and it showed the charges. So everyone knew, they all knew.
ABC hired a crisis manager. And what I'm wondering is, do you think ABC knew about this, or that they're blindsided kind of after the fact?
There's no way ABC could have been blindsided with this. They're in total cahoots with executive producers up until the moment of filming, and they are day one at least in the control room. So they're going to know exactly who this person is. It's even more Fast and Furious than if she had been cast 6 months prior. So they're even more thorough when it comes in late like this. And it is a little more permissible now to have someone with a past, I think. But this one just seems a little out of nowhere. But I could imagine them saying, why not? Let's roll the dice. Let's roll the dice on it. Everyone has a past. Everyone's done something they're not proud of. And you can always use the spin, which I think they probably will, that this is what she needs to turn her life around, is the Bachelorette.
Skeptical me, dare I say, would say that the 98th season of The Bachelorette is not going to get a whole lot of attention, especially when you got Love Island out there and all these other shows. So, how do you get attention for a show that is kind of mature?
Their audience is changing, and it is a little stale at 24 years old, which is crazy that the show's been on that long. So, yeah, you do need something. So I assure you, they were fine with a shakeup and a mishap. This, to me, is going to make everybody want to watch. Now I'm kind of like wanting to watch it. I haven't watched in years.
Yeah, I think he makes a great point. There is no fucking way that ABC didn't know everything about her. Like, be so for real. And his argument of like, well, they might spin it of like, yeah, she's a troubled past. And now she's just looking for love. And
Yeah,
the
like she's
Bachelorette's going to
deserving.
be the way that she finds love and heals herself, which is just so...
Blech. So I did see on ABC or wherever you watch The Bachelorette, they have a like 15-minute clip of her with like all the like former bachelorettes, and they're like basically like a pep talk, and it's like the night of the first rose, or the start of the show, and it expires actually today. But it was just interesting that they put that out there.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But the thing is, like, this show was like, this season was marketed so heavily, like way more than other seasons.
Oh yeah.
Remember, like, saw the first commercial, like, last year. Or
Call Her
even,
Daddy was the one that broke the news. She went on Call Her Daddy.
Right,
And
right.
she announced it then, and the whole thing just blew up. Yeah, the amount of advertising they put into this is insane. Now, supposedly, I don't know if this is true because I've heard different things, but some are reporting that each episode cost $2 million, and there were allegedly 13 episodes this season, which would mean $26 million in production costs. I don't know if that's true because then I was watching this video of a producer for multiple of reality TV shows, so she just is like very in the know in this world, and she said she thought because obviously the show hasn't been that successful for a while, and so she thinks that maybe it's closer to like $7 million total.
Oh, and like total?
Total.
Wow.
But like I have no idea if that's like really true.
You have to think all the amount of contestants on the show, they're being filmed pretty much 24/7.
Yeah.
So the amount of people they have on the team, and
Right.
I don't know, and they go to all these crazy places.
And supposedly, I mean, there's speculation that ABC could lose up to $60 million in costs, which includes lost advertising revenue, marketing, production fees. I mean, like Sydney said, there is so much more that goes into this than just the cost to film the show. Yeah, so the network will still generate some ad revenue during the former Bachelorette time slot on Sunday night when it plans to air a rerun of American Idol. Oh, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are really tuning into that.
I'm like, why American Idol?
I don't know. That's so weird. God. Now, both Miranda and Layla posted about the situation on Instagram, and people are speculating that they spoke out because of rumors that one of them will be the next Bachelorette, which I've also seen. Miranda says, I've honestly been a little at loss for words trying to process this all. Everything has been really heavy to see. Domestic violence and abuse of any kind is something I take very seriously. As a human and especially a mother, I cannot support that kind of behavior. My heart is with the children in this, and I hope they're safe, supported, and surrounded by love. Layla says, my personal history as a survivor makes it impossible for me to stay silent. I stand firmly against abuse in any form. I am keeping her children in my thoughts, hoping for their safety above all else.
Pretty positive. Michaela maybe said something too along these lines, but I'm not sure where Dumois, they drop all the tea on Instagram or whatever, got that idea. But supposedly somebody submitted that as a theory.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
That maybe they'll do a double season together. I don't think so.
I think ABC's probably like, maybe we should not dip our toes into Mormon wives again. I don't know. Maybe they didn't learn. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and supposedly they're struggling right now because they cast for The Bachelor right afterwards, and typically they will pull
someone from that,
but they can't. No one, if they do, they're not going to know. No one's going to know them.
Right.
So,
if you guys did have to pick a Mormon wife to replace Taylor as the Bachelorette, like say they're doing that, which one would you pick?
Miranda. She's my favorite. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's the most emotionally stable of the crew of them, and I just really like her demeanor. I think she's just cool.
Yeah, I like her too. I like Layla a lot, but I could see Miranda actually not like, it's hard to say, like doing well on the show. I just feel like she's pretty real, but I don't know. Who do you think? Or who would you pick?
I was going to say Miranda as well. One person did say Jessie. I mean, we'll get
yeah.
I think that if they wanted like a more empathetic role, I think Jessie would fit. But I just think Miranda has the looks, the charisma, the stability, the clear boundaries with her baby daddies. Layla is close, but I just think emotionally it might be like overwhelming for her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I just want to say before we move on here that in no way do I condone what happened. Obviously, I think it's horrific. I think it's devastating. And I think that clearly there's a lot of mental health issues that she needs to work through. I would also probably guess Dakota as well. But I just want to say, I think it's really interesting that the second a woman is exposed for abuse, that her image is absolutely run over and annihilated, and her big work opportunity is immediately canceled. And also, when there are men, athletes, dozens of athletes from every sport, actors, prominent figures, or, specifically someone who has been charged with 34 felonies and over a dozen sexual assault allegations, who is our fucking president, that none of them are getting quote unquote canceled. That they still have their sports contracts, they still have their movies, they still are fucking president and got elected again. And I think that overall is just so disgusting and devastating, and just continues to prove this double standard that is between men and women. Again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have canceled The Bachelorette. I'm not saying that what Taylor did was okay. I'm not saying that at all. But I also just think it's interesting that if we're going to do that, which I think there's very good reasons as to why they did, I would agree with it. But why not have these other people that have been accused and charged with felonies? Why are they still allowed to? These men are still allowed to have their fans, have their careers, and seemingly they can get away with much more violence and crimes than women can.
That's an extremely good point. Yeah, that's crazy. And someone that comes to my mind is who we've talked about is Chris Brown.
Thank you.
Like, people are pissed that he was getting in trouble.
Right.
Like, let him perform.
He beat the shit out of Rihanna.
Yes.
Okay. And allegedly multiple other women, which we have talked about on this show. Meanwhile, this fuck is on tour all the time, and people are buying his ticket. He sells out arenas.
He was just in Denver.
Make it make sense. I again, not saying what she did was okay. Certainly was not. I think it, I don't think any abuse of any form, physical violence, is appropriate, especially when there's children involved. But let's not forget the person who's running our country is being accused of being in the fucking Epstein files and being a pedophile. So I'll just, you want to talk about child crimes? Like, why are we not talking about that? It just blows my mind. It makes my blood boil. So I'll get off my soapbox for that, but no, just want to put that out there. Now, before we continue, there was one interesting clip that I found. This is a psychotherapist speaking, and I thought she made some really good points, and I would just like to go ahead and watch it because I think she says it best.
I made a rule when I started social media. I would not talk about real people, but I have been tagged in this situation so many times that this is the video I'm going to break that rule. Taylor Frankie Paul's Bachelorette season was canceled today after a 2023 video was released showing her attacking her ex in front of her daughter. For that case, she pled guilty to felony aggravated assault. And there's a new domestic violence investigation going on from this year where both sides are alleging assault. My name is Dr. Courtney. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and almost a licensed psychologist in the state of California, and I have worked with people who are specifically dealing with these types of situations for the past almost 15 years. According to NBC News, a 2023 mental health assessment from this case says that Frankie at the time was dealing with an ectopic pregnancy, the grief of a divorce, and was under the influence of alcohol. It feels weird to me to be saying these intimate details of another person's life, but these details are being spread everywhere. No one's talking about what could have actually been going on clinically to cause this behavior. If these details are true, then in a situation like this, alcohol would be affecting the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that supports impulse control and emotional regulation. Add on top of that grief from an ectopic pregnancy and shame and identity loss going through a divorce, and the brain is already prepped for an explosion. Give it a trigger and the amygdala will fire, meaning the decisions that will be made will be based on fear. That does not excuse what is happening in the video, but it does explain the mechanism. And if we can understand the mechanism, then we can understand that this behavior is treatable. 3 children across 2 relationships are involved in this situation. And children involved in this situation do not just see what's happening, they learn about relationships. If you grew up in this type of environment, or if you're growing up in this type of environment now, please know that healthy relationships do exist. And I hope that you already have found that truth. Most people online are either completely condemning Taylor or they are completely justifying Taylor. The truth is, none of us really know what's going on. Research shows that over 50% of intimate partner violence is bidirectional. It's the most common way this happens, and it's the most misunderstood. You don't cancel each other out, and it doesn't mean that each side is equally responsible. Ultimately, it means that the relationship has become unhealthy and there is danger present. If you are out there talking about this and you are just throwing judgment out there for sole entertainment, I want to remind you that if you strip someone the opportunity of even wanting to exist enough to get help, all you are doing is punishing them. And punishment without treatment has never changed a pattern. Not in the right way, not in the real way. There are evidence-based treatments for what we're seeing happening here today. The people closest to Taylor Frankie Paul and all of the families and all of the children involved in these situations, and everyone with resources to support them should be.
So I think she just says it best. And like she said, she's not, justifying the actions, but can perhaps understand the mechanism as to why that they're happening. And I just think she makes some great points. Also, I accidentally called her a licensed psychotherapist. She's a licensed social worker. My bad. So yeah. Another bachelorette or not bachelorette, Mormon wives news. Jesse and what's his nuts are getting a divorce. What's his name again? Right.
Jordan.
Shocking. They're getting the old divorce. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work out. They have seemingly hated each other for a long time.
I thought, so in this season, the way that Jordan almost comes off like kind of wants to make it work, more so than Jesse seems like. And she starts talking about a divorce and like the whole prenup thing.
Right.
And was worried it wasn't going to hold up because she didn't, when they filed it, wasn't filed like correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's also not surprising. I mean, I'm assuming he knew about that too. But yeah, I didn't think this was going to work for them. But it was like said that he did it. He tried to like do it first, so because she's gonna go on call her daddy.
Yeah,
but she's still I think she still went on like either way.
Now news just came out like 30 minutes ago that Jordan filed a restraining order against Jesse. I have no idea why. I've like looked at a few articles that have come out. And yeah, apparently he filed it on March 20th, and Jesse filed in opposition to the restraining order that very day. No specific allegations from either side have been publicly detailed at this time. Yeah, so I have no idea, but it's so in the Mormon wives world right now, there is a lot going on. I'll say that.
Well, and also I just want to mention, just because it was filed does not mean that he has basis.
Oh,
so
of
we
course.
have to watch how this plays out because there's a lot of speculation going on about Jordan's intentions of filing for divorce and whatever. So it could be to shift the narrative. But I'm really interested to see if it gets approved, there's obviously substance.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, he is so the dads during the show. Dad talk.
People are speculating that the reason he did it is to prevent Jesse from publicly speaking out against him and like the messy split. I have no idea.
Why would that hold her back?
I don't know.
Like,
that was just one thing I read. Yeah, I'm very curious to see if it ends up going through or not. So we'll see.
Are you a dad talk fan?
No, fuck the dad talk is so annoying. Like, no one cares.
No.
I have a confession to make. On Sunday, I slept till 11:30. That does not happen to me anymore. In my 31 years, I used to sleep so much, but now I feel like I can't sleep in as much anymore. I don't know what happened to me, but I literally slept till 11:30. Well, I think part of it, the reason is because my Koyuchi sheets are so soft, so comfortable. So it really makes it impossible to get out of bed. And yeah, I don't know what hit me, but Sunday morning I was just sleeping and sleeping. It was the greatest sleep of my life. And it's partially thanks to Koyuchi. Koyuchi is in a league of its own when it comes to bedding, bath, and home products, and their organic sateen and flannel sheet sets are the key to more comfortable, healthier sleep year-round. All Koyuchi sheets are made of natural fibers and certified to be free of toxins and harmful chemicals that could seep into your skin, and they're so soft and gentle on your skin, you can sleep well and safely with Koyuchi. Whether it's the subtle sheen of their sateen or the velvety brushed cotton flannel, plus vintage patterns, peaceful botanicals, and calming hues bring the natural world right into your home. And with every wash, these sheets just get softer and softer. There's no pilling or tearing. These are crafted to last, which I can 100% attest to. I've had my Koyuchi sheets for a long time. I wash them a zillion times. They're still really soft. They come out soft every time. They don't pill. They don't stretch out. They don't tear. It's perfect. And Koyuchi is luxury you can actually feel good about, whether it's bedding or bath towels, table linens, crib sheets, or spa robes, which by the way, I've also tried their spa robe. I'm obsessed with it. I wear it all the time. All of Koyuchi's products are of the absolute highest quality, made with natural fibers, low impact dyes, and certified fair trade. Koyuchi looks great, feels amazing, and is good for your health and the planet. So if you want healthy, organic luxury bedding that lasts a lifetime, you need Koyuchi. Get 15% off your first order when you visit koyuchi.com/sesh. That's koyuchi.com/sesh to get 15% off, koyuchi.com/sesh. This season's been pretty good overall, though.
I think so.
There's been some interesting moments.
Have you seen the comparisons between Dad Talk and like Mojo Dojo Casa House? What is it? Like from the Barbie movie? Like it's
I
just...
don't know what that is.
That's
you didn't watch the Barbie
No,
movie?
I've never seen the Barbie movie.
Okay. Everyone's just saying like,
that's
whatever Barbie does, Ken has to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, that's how it feels.
When he dropped, like, what? I'm not sure. Oh, they were like at the house. He's like, before, I just had to let you guys know we got signed. Like, Dad Talk got signed or something. And they're
By who?
they got like a sponsor.
Gives up. Wow. By Dude Wipes? Like,
Yeah.
I just could care less. Speaking of
Dude Wipes.
Speaking of Dude Wipes, speaking of men.
I was just thinking that.
Manly men. Dude, I used to love that show.
Really?
Yeah, I loved that show.
So random.
I know.
What's it called again?
2.5 Men.
Oh, right. The guy with like
Charlie
put his.
Sheen?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, before Charlie Sheen was
Is that the one
known
with
to be Charlie Sheen.
the-
Sheehan?
Yeah, he is a Sheen. No, the thing where the neighbor puts his just his eyes over the fence.
What?
Wait, what?
Is that the show you're talking about?
What are
The
you?
neighborhood puts his eye. What does that
Like
mean?
he doesn't like or you can never see his eyes, but he like talks over the fence to the neighbors.
No.
Oh, maybe it was like Toolbox or something.
No,
Are you talking
2.5?
about like American Dad, or are you talking about like an animated show?
No, it was like 2.5 Men like would come on every day, and it was just like
No, 2.5 Men is Charlie Sheen, and then like in the show, his brother. They're brothers, and Charlie Sheen's like super fucking rich, and his brother's like struggling. So his brother lives with him, and his brother has a son. So it's 2.5 Men, and it's just like a sitcom, and they just live their lives together.
okay, yeah, I've seen that, but I know people are gonna know what I'm talking about. But it's like
Wait, I need to know what this
the
is.
Toolbox or tool. Oh my gosh,
No, Google show where boy puts his eyes over the fence.
No, don't Google that.
Show where dad.
No, dad puts his.
I think it's dad.
This-
Dad looks over fence.
Ha!
Oh no, that looks like a toolbox. Oh my god, this is. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, Home Improvement.
Isn't that with what's his name?
Home Improvement.
The guy that also played in the Santa Claus. Come on.
Oh, yes.
Tim Allen.
I'm pretty sure he's in. Let me see.
Home Improvement.
You'll get it when you look it up.
Yeah, Tim Allen's in Home Improvement.
Yeah, look.
I've never watched
Look
Home
at
Improvement.
like the photos. Just go to photos so you can see what I mean
Oh,
with the fence.
okay, yeah, the fence.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, no, different show. Entirely different show. Home Improvement's old. It came out like 91.
I felt like 2.5 Men was that old.
No. I think it
Oh.
probably came out in like
Yeah, Home Improvement
5 or something.
was so annoying when it would come out or come on and have like the same song. You don't remember like?
I never watched.
I mean, I didn't watch.
I loved 2.5 Men. A great show. So you know how Sydney and I are like really into alpha male shit?
Mm-hmm.
Haley, have you by chance watched Manosphere?
No, that sounds like the last thing I'd ever want to watch in my free time.
Hmm.
Did you?
Yeah. We watched Manosphere.
Do you know what the manosphere is?
The Manosphere. I know it has something to do with like Andrew Tate and that like looks maxing guy. But I try to stay as far. I'm really, really in my era of trying to avoid rage bait on my timelines. And so I've successfully avoided seeing that except for one video of the looks maxer guy getting smacked in the face in a club, which I enjoyed.
Oh, clavicular.
Clavicular. Yeah. And
Yeah,
he threatened to sue the girl.
If you knew anything about Manosphere, you would know that that's one of the main men, Clavicular.
And he should sue because he's a looks maxer. He's like,
Correct.
he's been working on that.
Right. Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know, there's been a terrible expose that happened called The Manosphere, okay? The Inside the Manosphere, released on Netflix just a couple days ago. And it's exposing the what people say toxic masculinity is, which I think is furthest from the truth, truly. Couldn't be further from the truth.
No. They need to escape the Matrix.
Right. Escape. Yeah. Okay. No, but on the real, Sydney and I, this documentary dropped on Thursday and we were like, we should just watch it because we've talked about alpha males in the past and we've talked about Tater Tot in the past. And so we watch it. It's on Netflix and the documentarian Louis Theroux does it. Now, I had never watched anything by Louis Theroux. Apparently, he's a great documentarian that's made many great documentaries, which I'll have to check out more because I actually really liked his style. I thought he was very entertaining.
Same.
But this is basically exposing the manosphere. And if you don't know what the manosphere is, it's basically this online world of misogyny that promotes hypermasculinity, sexism, and anti-feminist views. Incredible. It's made up of men's rights activists, incels, men going their own way, and pickup artists. Okay? Yeah, so their whole thing is like escape the matrix, meaning they don't follow the system because obviously those of you who have seen the Matrix, it's like the red pill versus the blue pill. And if you take the red pill, you see the truth of things. And so they believe that they're called like red pillars. And so they, are here to see the truth and not just, go by society of what they're, you're told you should do and really try and just go your own way, do your own thing. Fuck the typical 9 to 5 and try and really grow your own brand, which in theory, like that part doesn't sound that bad.
No.
Don't feel like you have to be in the rat race your whole life and like be, think outside the box and think for yourself and work hard to make something for yourself. That's all great, right? It's unfortunate they couldn't have just
Stopped there.
Right. No. They really couldn't. So,
They think that outside or inside the Matrix, women are they're controlling things.
yeah, they're right. Yeah. So it's all about like taking back the men power because women are controlling things. They're making men a bunch of like pussy, soy boy, and you got to take back your power. So, okay, Louis follows like different dudes. One of them, his name is Harrison Sullivan, better known as, this is one of the worst things that will ever come out of my mouth. HS Tiki Talkie is his name online, okay? As well as his friend Ed Matthews, Myron Gaines, who is the co-founder of the Fresh and Fit podcast, as well as the author of, quote, Why Women Deserve Less. Dude, the Fresh and Fit podcast,
It's
one of the worst things I've ever... It's literally rage bait to the extreme, in my opinion.
yes. Making fun, humiliating females to their face, like yelling at them.
Yeah. As well as Justin Waller, who is the face of Andrew Tate's online business school, The Real World. And then another person known as Sneeko.
Yeah, Sneeko.
Sneeko. Okay, so they talk about how like there's the 3 pillars, right, of the manosphere. We got wealth, fitness, and sexual prowess. Mm-hmm. And in the doc, it becomes very clear that these men present their opinions as fact. The amount of times something is described as the truth is honestly insane, whether it's advice about making money, how to live outside the system, which conspiracy theories to believe, or how to be what they call proper boys, meaning high-earning, fit alpha men, not those little soy boys walking around in the modern day, according to HS Tiki Talkie.
So people aren't confused. Throughout this, HS Tiki Talkie is HS. So
right,
just because having to say HS Tiki Talkie every time
is horrific. Yeah, so he's basically just like following these dudes around. They're like just the worst kind of people, on the face of the earth, who are basically saying that like the world in which we're in now is super toxic, of like women having opinions or like jobs or any sort of positions of power.
Voting.
Women
should
not be voting. Many of them, like the Fresh and Fit fuck, has this theory that, so he had a girlfriend, but he's also not practicing monogamy. He's like off fucking other hoes as well, because men are allowed to do that. It keeps them masculine to have, having one partner is so lame and soy of you. So you can go around and have multiple women, but of course the multiple women, you can't have multiple men as a female. Tiki Talkie also talks about how he owns a talent agency for OnlyFans actors or models, but then he like also talks about how he thinks they're absolutely disgusting and like hates them, and that if he ever had a daughter, she would never be allowed to do OnlyFans, and it's literally just purely for money that he like is in that business, even though he thinks they're disgusting and has no respect for them. Talks about how if his son's ever gay, like his son's not allowed to be gay.
Oh, he disowned them both.
He disowned his son and his daughter.
Also, one thing that they're all extremely confident about is women. And they claim men know what women want and the way women should act.
Wait, oh my God. Why is this literally giving Chris from Love is Blind?
Oh, yes, exactly.
He was like spewing manosphere shit to what's-her-face, Brie, being like, I know what you want.
Exactly. Oh, he's totally one of the guys from the manosphere.
So, but they believe that like the women in today's society are just confused and lost, and they are really looking for someone to lead them and direct them, and that's what we want, is to be told what to do, is to be not in charge and have the man of the household lead the way,
Right.
which is great.
It's interesting. I never was asked. Like, no one ever asked me if that's what I never shared that's what I wanted.
Well, Sydney, you don't know what you want.
Right.
So
I'm still
you would say maybe you'd want the right to vote, but let's be so real.
My man will know better.
Your man will know better. Would you consider Jared a soy boy? Because I'll speak for John. That motherfucker is a soy-ass boy, okay? In the eyes of these men, not only does that bitch love sushi, okay, and he's eating tofu at my house because I ain't cooking fucking meat. So you get seafood and you get tofu or fake meat. Impossible meat is filled with soy. And so he's soying it up.
Well, I got myself a simp over
Do
here.
you?
Yep. Yeah,
Dang. Why? What's he doing?
He's at home cooking dinner.
He's at home
Yep.
He's cooking for you?
Every night he cooks for me, and
Yeah.
because I tell him what to do, and he's making pork roast or whatever.
So let me get this right. You're at work.
Correct.
You're at fucking work. Mm-hmm. And he's at home simping. What? He's got his little apron on.
Probably
Cooking up with his little whisk. Cooking up at least it's a roast, okay? At least it's not cooking up with like fake meat. It's like real man meat.
right, but
Luckily-
he's just I don't know. He's just giving beta.
Beta!
Like,
Yeah, we have some simp ass men here. Haley, what about you? You ever dated a fucking simp?
I have, but unfortunately, the men I date tend to be like the really like brawny masculine men. I've never dated a red pillar. They would hate me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, but
You could still be brawny and masculine while also cook.
I also don't find simps. We're seeking it. Seeking simp soy boy.
Wait, oh my God.
Simp soy boy.
New dating show. Fuck the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
We're starting Seeking Simps.
yes. Okay, and you know what? I love my simp. I love my soy boy. I would never change him.
No, same. I love my simp. He's emotionally intelligent. He respects women.
Right.
If you asked him, would you consider yourself a feminist? He would say yes, which I'm sure would just make these guys, their buttholes crawl up into
Yeah.
themselves.
They would pop off.
They would be disturbed. But yeah, the whole premise is like,
Masculinity.
masculinity. You got to hustle to make money to provide for your kids, which that's not a bad thing. But don't let the female run the house because, or God forbid, y'all are just fucking equal. Because women should be at home cooking, cleaning, and breastfeeding, and
right.
men
Stay
should
in
be,
their lanes.
and men should be out making business deals, making money moves, and fucking other bitches while you're at home cooking up crock pot meals.
Right.
So yeah, what's interesting though? Going back to Fresh and Fit. So if you guys don't know, basically it's these two fucks. What's the other guy's name? I don't even know what the other guy's name is. But what's the guy's name? Myron, thank you. Myron, I always forget his name. So it's Myron and this other guy, and they bring chicks on their show, and then they just like rage bait the fuck out of them. They basically like they brought OnlyFans workers on their show, and then they just talk about how much of a piece of shit they are essentially, and like how they're worthless and like garbage. And what's interesting though is the women, there are like tons of women who willingly go on that show. And I'm always like, why would you want to do that if you're just going to get disrespected and ripped apart? But I think it's because they're one step ahead and they're like, yeah, we'll go on your stupid ass show and we'll look hot doing it and you can rip us apart. But all your viewers are going to be fucking looking up our name after they're done watching, and really we're making money off it as a fucking business opportunity.
Smart. See, that's...
And I'm kind of like, you know what? Pop off. Because I don't think they care if they're... I mean, I personally wouldn't give a shit if I'm OnlyFans work and I'm making money off of red pillars or not. Like, a buck is a buck. Whoever's watching me.
You think they're not watching?
No, literally. You think they're not paying for this shit too?
it's insane. Oh, when TikTok goes, he says porn is disgusting and it's like for losers. I'm like, oh, but you are literally sitting around your house with all these OnlyFans creators. You're telling me, like, he is so backwards.
Yeah, I actually did hook up with a red, what I think now that he's a red pillar.
Oh, no.
I didn't know it at the time. And he once said something similar where he was like, I don't really fuck with porn. Like, that's lame. If, like, I never jack off. I literally just have women on speed dial. I just call one up.
No, you don't. No, you literally
this
don't.
One, he was fine, I fear.
Yeah, but I don't even believe that.
I came when he called.
Haley, you're not helping me. You're not helping me.
I don't condone that behavior anymore. I'm just saying that, like, I have met men that think like that. Do we fully believe them? I don't know.
Right. That's my thing is, like, if you're overcompensating. If you're over here trying to be like, I get bitches day and night. I don't know about that. It's also like Chris from Love is Blind being like, I'm just used to chicks who are like constantly at Pilates. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm just used to chicks who like, let me like work out and who will, let me like order food for them. No, you're not. Like, shut up. No one is. No. Yeah, it's just like, it's crazy though, because during the documentary, there were so many times where like young teen boys would go up to these creators and be like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan. You're so inspirational to me. I love you. Can I get a picture with you? And it's like 14, 15-year-olds.
Horrible.
Which I'm like, oh no. What is happening? I didn't even know that there were so many people like this still. I thought that we were more progressive as a society, and I think that I was just naive. The other day, I saw this statistic that said Gen Z is the first demographic, the first generation ever where more than half of women in that demographic consider themselves a feminist. And it was like 53%. And millennials, for example, was like less than 50% of millennial women consider themselves a feminist. And I just thought that was so depressing to read. And maybe I'm just naive, clearly, because A, I live in Denver. Denver's a very progressive city.
Mm-hmm.
B, I surround myself with like-minded individuals. All the women around me would consider themselves a feminist, are strong women. That's obviously just like the type of people that I personally want to surround myself with. Same with the men. Like, I'm very lucky that, my dad and like older male role models in my life are progressive. And, of course I've met people who aren't, but like for the most part, I thought it was like more rare than not. But then I saw that statistic and I was like, oh, that is so depressing. And even now, Gen Z, only 53% I'm not even talking about the males, 53% of the females consider themselves feminists. Are you one of those people that actually likes your money? Well, unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers, they like your money too, okay? So if you're tired of spending hundreds on crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and quote-unquote free perks that cost you more in the long run, then a premium wireless plan from Mint Mobile for just $15 a month might be right for you. Stop overpaying for wireless just because that's how it's always been. Mint Mobile exists purely to fix that. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And what's cool is that you can bring your own phone and number, activate with eSIM in minutes, and start saving immediately. No long-term contracts, no hassle. You can ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. The Higher Hope Foundation actually uses Mint Mobile for our phone, and it works phenomenal. We have great service, never had an issue. It's really easy to set up. It took like literally 15 minutes to set the whole thing up. And yeah, I really have no complaints. Like I said, it's way cheaper than the big carriers out there. So we've been saving a lot of money. And yeah, overall, I'm a really big fan. So if you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/sesh. That's mintmobile.com/sesh. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for the first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Tax and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Which, let's remind ourselves, many people believe that feminists, like the definition means that women think they're better and superior than men. That's not the definition. It's just equal on an equal playing field and deserve equal rights, equal opportunities. And that like almost half don't believe that they deserve that. It's just blows my fucking mind. And then there's people like this who are garnering millions of followers, young, impressionable followers who are, you know, looking up to these dudes that are just such freaks and racist, homophobic, sexist, just bigoted. Yeah, just bigoted.
Or, you know, the Justin guy, I think when he's introduced, he's like, he openly shares that he gives advice to young men. And he was the one when they're standing on the out, like looking at the skyscrapers. He was like, men built all of this.
Yeah.
And Louis like,
you don't think
only men did this? And he's like, well, like pretty much. Yeah. And I'm like, and the fact, it's a fact.
It's a fact. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think you. Like,
And his relationship is strange. His quote unquote wife, that's not his wife.
Oh, yeah. This is so weird.
Like so the whole time he's talking to Louis, he says he's referring to that he has a wife and that she's okay with him sleeping with other women, yada, yada. So then they go to his house and she's there. And the guy goes, well, we're not actually married, like through the state. And Louis is like, so you're not his wife. And he's like, we don't need like the label or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, clearly a wife, I guess isn't that like a label? Right?
Right.
So, and then, this was so cringe. The Justin guy goes, you know, if all of this were to go away tomorrow, like if her and I weren't together, I'd be fine with it because I would be happy that we had good times.
Listen, I may not have this fine piece of ass forever, but at least I do in the meantime, okay? Yeah. And yeah, he's also one of the ones that's like, yeah, I'm allowed to have other chicks on the side. He has 2 kids with her, and he's like, yeah, I like hook up with other girls on the side. And she's like, yeah, it's none of my business. Which, like, if people want to be, you know, if they're in polygamy, I don't care what you do. I just think it's disturbing that you're like, no, I'm allowed to have side chicks, but God forbid she looks at another man. She should be at my home cleaning and cooking while I'm out fucking like random hoes and then coming back home.
Yeah.
That's essentially what he's saying.
Exactly. And he doesn't do the diapers.
He's like, I've never changed a diaper in my life.
No. I don't understand. I just understand the living life like that. I really don't.
31% of Gen Z men born between 1996 and 2012 believe a wife should always obey her husband. 31%. That is scary. That is scary. Also, let's talk about looks maxing. This is one of the worst brain rot things I think I've ever heard. I was getting so irritated by the amount of times they were talking about it too. Okay, so looks maxing is basically this is this is so boomer. I literally Googled what is looks maxing, and AI Google was like, looks maxing is when it's like a male term for trying to essentially be as attractive as you can and as masculine as you possibly can. And I was like, okay, that's good to know. So yeah, a lot of these dudes come off as like trying to, they basically have this mindset. It was like, when you're born, you aren't shit and you have to work hard in order to become anything in life, which I would agree with to some extent, although not entirely, because a lot of people are born into privilege, obviously. And so...
But that's just for men.
But that's just for men, because
Yes.
women are already like...
They're privileged.
They're privileged already, which is just so funny to me. I'm like...
Because they got ass and titties.
That's literally what they say, because they got ass and titties. Now, we don't have the right to our own body. Not no bodily autonomy over here, but we do have ass and titties, so...
Right.
What more could you really
We're
ask
privileged
for?
that.
What more could you really ask for?
Right.
Let's watch a few clips from this interview with Adam Friedland, who had Clavicular on his podcast, who is another
He's like
and he's only like 20 years old, I think.
Yeah, but he's like the most well-known, or the internet's most famous looks maxer. So basically he does just a bunch of shit to his face and body, takes pills.
Yeah, he's trying to look as hot as fucking possible.
Is your hair or your dick? Because I would say dick, personally. Yeah. I would look terrible without hair. I'd look sick. But if you go bald, you could go jacked. You could go Bruce Willis kind of.
No, that just makes you look like one of those cringe red pill jesters, I feel like.
I think they're jesters too.
I kind of just like to refer back to the quote, like, hair is life, and if you have no hair, you have no life.
Confucius.
No, that's actually Saint Hamoudi.
Who's Saint Moody?
Saint Hamoudi, just some autists from, like, the black pill space.
Oh, okay. He's not from the Bible.
No.
Yeah, so if you don't have hair, you have
No life.
don't have a life.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
So
How can we help you?
talking shit about red pillars, though. He said, so I'm confused. Is he fighting his own team?
A lot of these young, like, I know, but from what
we've gathered.
yes, I could be wrong, but this is from what I'm taking, because a lot of their verbiage is slightly challenging to understand what they're saying. But I think a lot of the younger guys like that follow clavicular. God, the name's horrible.
Like clitoris.
And it has to do with like his shoulder bones. That's why it's like
The clavicle?
perfect. Yeah, the clavicle,
Mhm.
like the perfect range, or whatever.
Okay.
Are not following like necessarily red pill, but it's still within the manosphere. I mean, this guy is. I mean, he's just. I'm not totally sure. I think he makes up his own.
It's like an
thoughts and
umbrella. It's a
ideas.
spectrum.
Right.
So everything's a spectrum. You know, he may fall into the alpha male manosphere umbrella, but he may not be into the red pill lane like some others are, like the Andrew Tates of the world.
So it looks like what I'm taking is the manosphere possibly includes like the red pill people, the looks maxing community, because I think all under. But the looks maxing is just he's at age 14. He said he began injecting testosterone. He ordered from the internet. Yeah, and now he is infertile. Currently infertile.
Who, clitoris?
Yep.
Is
Clit.
infertile?
Yep.
Yikes.
But he doesn't care.
Wait, that's like so not manly, I feel. In their eyes, they'd be like, oh,
I mean, he's done.
your sperm don't work?
See, he's so into the way he looks, like his face and his hair.
Right.
It's
Right.
Which is crazy because when you said looks maxer, I thought I was about to see like the hottest man I've ever seen in my life. Like if that's what your entire thing is. I've seen better looking men in Denver even. Which
he's not ugly, but I'm not like amazed. He's also 20, so I guess there's that. That's not my age group of attraction. Let me just put that out there. So maybe that's why as well.
This is another very interesting part of the interview, but I will never forget when the host asked him, "Do you ever like have private time?" Or he's like, "No, like I am streaming. Like if you're doing anything and you're not streaming, you're losing money." He's like, so like basically, if you go on a date or whatever, he's like streaming. Yeah, he's like, I have no time to waste.
He said that Mr. Beast said that if he was going to put his money into anyone, it would be him, which I was like, if that's true, what the hell, Mr. Beast?
Yeah, that's
Jimmy. Yeah, it's just it's
scary though, honestly. you can't control, if you have a kid or a son and can't control what they hear
Your mic.
hear at school, or what their friends are saying, and say that the group of them are all about this.
No, I know. That's so scary. If I had a kid and they were into this shit, I would be so pissed off.
Yeah.
I would do everything in my power to shut that shit down. But yeah, I mean, like you just said, you can't control what they talk about at lunch in school. Like,
Yeah. And social media too. Now,
it's so bad.
so bad. Like, so easy to find influencers like this. And I guess some people will be like, oh, I'm going to just not let them have a phone or social media. And then it's like,
Yeah,
well,
you can't do that.
yeah, because then there's going to be anger there.
Yeah, well,
and
then they'll find a way around it.
Yes.
Like if you try, I'm under the impression, which I'm not a parent, but I've always thought like if you try and, shelter your kids too much, then they're going to do it anyways. They'll just do it behind your back.
Right.
And in a more dangerous way. So I don't know. Yeah, I just, it's insane that there's so many people who are following these dudes. It's wild.
It's kind of funny because that they did this documentary. It's clearly it's calling them out for their just wild ways.
But I
and
don't think they
thoughts.
care. I think that's another thing is I don't even know if they really believe what they're saying as much as they know that they're click farming is what it's called, where like you're just doing something outrageous just to get views. And so I'm like, I don't know if they really believe wholeheartedly what they're saying or if they're just saying the most extreme things because they know that younger, more impressionable teens will eat that shit up and in return they make more money off of it.
That's true.
I don't know how much they really believe what they're saying.
That actually makes a lot of sense. That's pretty much what TikTok said about his OnlyFans situation.
Right, exactly. Like
he's like, I don't care. I'm making money.
He literally will plug OnlyFans, during his streams. But then he says like he hates it and would never use it. I'm like, I don't know. I think a lot of it is just rage bait, because obviously rage bait works, and and kids are impressionable, and
One of a lot of these guys are like younger. Well, Myron and that Justin guy are like older. Like Justin's like in his 40s, which is crazy to me.
Embarrassing.
Oh,
yeah, he's like he's like a dad with two kids. Imagine that's your dad. That's just like so devastating to his daughters,
right?
Mind you.
Wow.
God, this world is fucked. But also like not to bring up politics again, but also to bring up politics again. Can you really blame these kids for following them when we literally have the red pill fuck himself leading the country? Right. No, I guess you really can't, because clearly society has deemed it to be okay to be this type of person. So that's lovely.
Yeah. One good thing that I felt came out of the doc was Myron's ass got his girlfriend left him.
Yeah, his girlfriend dumped his ass, which is so funny.
I don't
He was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I wish her well. Can we quiz you on the masculine terms before we head out?
You can't read it.
Why don't you guys read them to me and I'll tell you what I think it means, and then you tell me what it actually means, because I have not partaken in the manosphere before.
Well, you should.
But I am chronically online, so I think I'll know some.
Well, a lot of these are like in mainstream too now. Like most of these I already knew about, and I'm not in the manosphere. Okay, the first one is alpha. We already know.
Obviously, alpha means they're twop dog, twop dog, big manly leader man.
And what's the opposite of that?
Beta. Little man, little soy boy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I was confused. I thought this is me being a boomer. I was like, beta, that must be cool, like a frat. I don't know.
No, beta is, beta. Jared at home cooking you a fucking roast. Beta.
White. Right. Okay.
John at home with his two. Okay, here we go. Two tiny little white crusty girl dogs that John has. Beta as fuck.
Oh, correct.
Okay. Looks maxing.
Okay, so this one, like I said, I had heard it a little online. I didn't know what looks maxing was. I thought it was like more of like a joke, like a mew. Like I thought it just meant like you're like posting or like you're posing dramatically online. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm looks maxing because
That's what I thought it was too.
That's what I thought it was. I didn't know it was like
Literally looks maxing.
plastic surgery to the max. Like I feel like in female world, looks maxing is pretty common. Like my lip filler, my Botox, a boob job.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's a stupid word. Like looks maxing. Like you can't come up with anything else. Maximize my looks.
I mean, let's remind ourselves here. This is the generation that is using terms such as skibbity toilet.
Right.
Janelle,
correct.
do you wanna tell them your term you've learned today?
Oh, I forgot what it was.
Janelle, please define incel.
Incel. Wait, I forgot what it was. What is it again?
What do you think it means?
Incel.
I was on Google looking this up.
I forgot what it means. What does it mean?
You don't have a guess?
No.
Involuntarily celibate.
Oh, right.
It means you don't pull bitches. And anytime that you're
So that's a
like,
diss for
it's
sure.
a diss. Anytime you're trying to like, and incel culture is like the idea that kind of like breeds red pilling of like this hatred towards women because you can't get women.
Right.
And so like incel is like the like OG of these stupid terms.
Right. An incel.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, soy boy, we all know what that is. Now here's the scientific backing of soy boy, if you will. So we all know that we have various hormones in our bodies, such as testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, blah, blah, blah. And soy is known to increase estrogen levels. And obviously, the alpha males want as much testosterone as possible. And so the idea is like if men eat a lot of soy, then their testosterone levels are low and their estrogen levels are high. And so this term soy boy is like, oh, well, clearly you got low T, not big D.
Yeah.
Little PP.
Oh, also, one thing that we have to mention really quick is Myron, during his part of the interview, when he shows that video of this quote-unquote scientist on TikTok that told him that, like basically saying, you want to date virgins because if you date girls that have slept with other men, there's a potential that if you guys have kids,
you guys, this is the craziest thing. This fucking doctor, or I don't think he's a doctor.
I think it was AI.
Someone on TikTok literally said that every time a woman sleeps with a man, some of their sperm essentially like stays within their body forever. And so let's say that this woman has slept with a ton of men. Every man, she has sperm in her body from every man she slept with, so that by the time she gets pregnant with your baby, that baby isn't all yours and is partially other men that she has slept with. And so that's why you want to have a virgin or a low body count, because then your offspring will be super pure, which is one of the fucking craziest things I've ever heard, because these are the same dudes that are sticking their dick in anything that's moving.
Yes.
Like,
this is so insane. I couldn't. Yeah, that was probably one of the craziest parts of the documentary.
Okay, how about Sigma? Do you know what Sigma is?
Okay, my understanding, I thought Sigma was similar to Beta. Like, I thought those two were interchangeable.
No, Sigma is like lone wolf. You're like, you're not a part of any group. You're just a lone wolf. You're doing your own thing.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know.
I feel like if I were to call you Sigma and you're a lone wolf, I feel like I'm calling you like loser.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. I don't know exactly if it's a good thing or not. Maybe it depends on the person. And then we have mogging, which is looking better than basically anyone else.
That one I did know about because I see it online as like memes all the time. And it's just like my boyfriend mogging me in pictures, and it's just like
him looking better or whatever.
Yeah, you mogged me in every picture on St. Patrick's Day, and I wanted to just like delete.
Oh, dang. Sorry about that. Okay. I think this is enough brain rot for the day. I'm about fried and ready to go. We got to go to the gym, Haley, which is very
Alpha.
I'm about to go.
Do they want to see women at the gym? And like, I would assume they want to see women working out because that makes them hot, and they want
Pilates.
But
but not like you can't lift weights. I don't know.
yeah, and all their gym scenes and seeing females, but
Right.
just I'm gonna go home and hang out with my beta.
Beta.
Yeah,
Little beta boy.
My sweet beta.
I'm a sweet beta.
I would be beta in this manosphere. I would not be like, I got no energy for this crap.
Well, my whole thought is like, y'all are overcompensating for something, okay? Because someone who's actually confident in themselves and secure and knows who they are, they're not trying to prove anything to anyone. They don't give a fuck. So they don't give a fuck if they eat soy protein sometimes, or if their woman is strong and powerful and has opinions, or whatever, or
knows what she wants,
or if you are the most masculine looking person there is. Like, clearly you're overcompensating for something. Okay,
got a little deeper issue here.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
We love you all. We will see you on the next sesh. Until then, keep it fresh. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.